up, world? Welcome back to the Verbal Intercourse Season 2. Got your host, Nick Walker, with you. Back with you today. We back. 2021. 2020 was crazy. It was, I don't even have a word for 2020, but, it was insane. It was a lot of sorrow and despair, but also it was a silver lining in all of those things. COVID pandemic started February, March, around that time, and we had just started the podcast after Kobe's death, and it was a crazy time. We had to transition from doing the in-person podcast interview system to using Google Meet and Zoom, and it was a good transition because at the end of the year, we ended up having thousands of listens, thousands of downloads, and it was pretty crazy because, we didn't know what to expect when we started Verbal Intercourse. I started a podcast, me and Jay Red, and we just continue trying to expand. We don't know where it's going, but, we putting a lot into it. We putting a lot of creative power into it, and I think, we headed in a good direction. So, I wanted to start this second season off with a podcast that was just me speaking about, my year, my New Year's resolutions, my inspirations throughout 2020 that really helped me get through times of sorrow and depression and anxiety that I think pretty much everybody had a chance to deal with it. 2020, I don't think it was friendly to anyone, in any regards. We have over 300,000 people that have passed on due to the COVID pandemic. We had a maniac at president that we luckily voted out of office. Currently, we have a slow rollout of the COVID vaccine that is putting more pressure on the healthcare system. So all of these things, is part of the pandemic. It started in 2020 and it trickled over to 2021. I lost, one of my favorite cousins in a car accident due to a drunk driver. I had COVID-19 in November, and I had to deal with the isolation of that. I had to deal with the post-COVID anxiety, the post-COVID depression. I had to deal with all of those things. All of those things are common after having COVID. So yeah, 2020 was crazy, but I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to still be able to talk to you. I'm blessed that the majority of my friends and family were unharmed. I'm just blessed that God kept us. So today, I'm just gonna be as transparent as possible, and gonna bring this second season in nicely. So I want to start off by promoting Verbal Intercourse Podcast. We're on all streaming platforms: SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify. Verbal Intercourse Soliloquy. We looking for new hot artists. And when I say hot artists, we looking for new rappers, new poets, new singers. We looking for all of that in come 2021. And we going to get started swiftly. So we'll be looking for y'all to reach out to us. We reach out to y'all. And, let's get some work done, In 2020, all of this just came into fruition, and we was kind of winging it. But I think in 2021 we have a little bit more organization going. We're gonna be using different things. We're gonna start selling merch. As you can see, I got the Verbal Intercourse. This is our first logo T-shirt, but I will be having some packs coming towards y'all soon that we gonna be starting to basically kind of sell online on a website that we're developing currently, Verbal Intercourse Jackson. we're developing that currently, and we're gonna be selling merchandise on there. Also, we're gonna be having spots for bloggers. We're gonna be having spots for people that want to have album reviews on our website. We're going to be having spots for advertisements on our website, and you know we gonna try to put together something that I feel like will be influential. So 2021, you know, it's looking up. You know, I spoke previously about having the COVID disease, and I got the COVID vaccine on Wednesday. So that's already a positive. I got to go back and get my other half in 28 days later from Wednesday. So it's already looking up. So next, I'm gonna get into some of my New Year's resolutions. I think I made a vision board with my girlfriend. So I'll talk a little bit about those New Year's resolutions. Then I'll go into some that I had on my own. So on the mental health and well-being side, most of my New Year's resolutions are based around, you know, maintaining that active lifestyle that I usually have. I usually work out 4 to 5 times a week. I try to reach my Apple Move goal, and my Apple Move goal, it says 1,000. So I try to reach that 4 to 5 times a week. I pray throughout the day. This year, my goal is to get more into stretching and yoga. I want to get more into deep breathing and meditation. When I do that, I usually do the meditations on Saturday, like soon as I wake up. But I want to get more into that being a routine, because I found out it was very beneficial during the pandemic. It really helped me, you know, calm my nerves, and all the exercise and really helped me calm my nerves. It took away a lot of the anxiety, me just having a routine. So, and also, I want to, on the objective side of it, I want to at least read one book a month. I want to finish reading the entire common English version of the Bible. That's the form that I like to read. And I also, you know, want to make sure that I'm consistent with being creative in whatever form it is. If it's creating a podcast, if it's writing, if it's designing or putting together something for merchandise, I want to make sure that I'm consistent with doing that. I also want to be consistent with listening to other people's podcasts too, just to, you know, take tips, because, you know, it's a work in progress. We just trying to build some quality content. So those are a few of my resolutions. I would say that, you know, I plan, and also another one, I also plan to have Wednesdays no meat days. So I'm not gonna eat no meat on Wednesdays. Like, just straight up, like, vegetables, sweet potatoes, and to decrease my sugar intake. I had an issue in 2020 that anytime I had a bad day, I'm finna go get some brownie covered with ice cream, or I'm finna go get, you know, Chick-fil-A chocolate chip cookie. So I'm trying to cut all that out. Currently, I'm on a fast where, you know, Sunday is like my cheat day, but Monday through Saturday is like no fried foods, which I don't really cut down my consumption of fried foods anyway. No fried foods, no alcohol, exercise, no pork or nothing like that. And I think it's, you know, it's been panning out pretty good. It's just been the first week, but I've done this before, and it's not really, I don't really have the urge to do any of those things. And, you know, my drinking break starts on Saturdays at 5 o'clock, so I didn't start until 5 o'clock. So, but I think it's just good for spiritual and mental healing to start off the year. 2021 is a new beginning, and that's how we gotta look at it. 2020 was a shit show for everybody, but it was a lot of good silver linings too. For me personally, I know I got closer to my parents. They're at home in isolation, but I got closer to them, talked to them more than I ever have. My father received a kidney transplant, and that went well for him. It was a silver lining, but 2020 was a shit show. Long story short, but like I said, plenty of silver linings. Things that I found inspirations in through 2020. I'll just start off with music because I'm also progressed to talking about a lot of the people that I found inspiration in. In 2020, I found inspiration music wise. Gotta go with Nas King's Disease to start off. That was very inspirational. It came at a great time, and it came randomly. I didn't think Nas would drop an album in 2020, but it happened, and it was an amazing piece of work, and I really appreciated it. It helped me get through. J Electronica, a written testimony. That was amazing. That was perfect. Of course, my bro Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo. Then Kid Cudi came through late in 2020 with Man on the Moon 3. If you ain't heard that shit's special. And then a throwback that really helped me get through was Ghostface Killah Supreme Clientele. So all those albums at different parts in 2020, I just had them in rotation. And the reason why I brought that up is because verbal intercourse is basically defined by hip hop culture. We are millennials trying to spread our opinions, but millennials are defined mostly by hip hop culture, and hip hop is one of my greatest inspirations. So when it comes to people that I were inspired by in 2020, gotta start off with my family. Gotta start off with the strength of my parents. Like I said, I got closer with them, talked to them almost on a daily basis. Shout out to my friends, my crew. I found inspiration in all of those guys, and they probably didn't even know it. I prayed for all of those guys, and they wouldn't have known that, but I really find inspiration in them. They're great fathers, they working men, and they doing what they got to do to survive, and they doing what they got to do to be productive citizens in the world, and I appreciate that. So I really found inspiration in those guys, and I think 2021 is gonna look real great for the team. So shout out to y'all. And I found inspiration in my girlfriend. Shout out to her for just being who she is and being a solid person in my life, a bright light in my life. Found inspiration in her in a lot of different ways. And I really appreciate her. So shout out to her, and all of her business endeavors and her career endeavors, and we just gonna keep on rocking. A lot of people in Jackson that I found inspiration in. So many people. This pandemic, it showed us a lot, and it showed that black people, more than anyone, we know how to get it up out the mud, regardless of whatever financial situation that we was born into. We find out how to make it happen in 2020. I've never seen so many entrepreneurs in my life, and I feel like 2021 brought out the get money in everybody, and I really appreciated watching it. I saw a lot of producers come up, podcasters, rappers putting in work throughout the pandemic, promoting their music, promoting their clothing lines, curators, entrepreneurs, boutiques popped up everywhere. People creating content popped up everywhere. Creatives, pop-up shops. I saw all of this out of the everybody in Jackson and in Mississippi throughout 2020, and all of these people was inspirations, from from Flywalker to to the different podcasters that I listen to the rappers like Vegas and even P3 with her bracelets, and shout out to the homie Bree for creating those lingerie lines, and shout out to all the creatives like Monica and that really got it up out the mud in 2020. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all all influenced me. Shout out to Twana, man, who influenced me, who dropped timeless tracks that he didn't know that I probably played on repeat for days. But shout out to all these people. Shout out to Joe for being on the podcast at times, and also being a principal during this time in 2020. And I appreciate everybody. I found inspiration in everybody that was a guest on the podcast in 2020. And I'm looking forward to, working with so many different people and collaborating with people in 2021. So that's another one of my New Year's resolutions also, is to collaborate with more people and to get into different rooms just to see, what could pop off, So long story short, I just wanted to open the season up to have a talk with the people that listen to the show, and to basically tell them that 2021 gonna be better. We got things coming, and also that it's time to just turn up and get all our ducks in a row and push whatever we got going forward. So whatever verbal intercourse turn into, we trying to push it forward, and we ain't afraid of heights. We ain't afraid of nothing. And we coming to a place near you soon. Peace.